Have you ever wondered why there seems to be such a wide chasm between different political ideologies today? It's like we're living on different planets, isn't it? Well, we're about to embark on a journey to explore this fascinating and at times mind-boggling phenomenon known as political polarization. It's a journey that will challenge us, enlighten us, and hopefully bring us closer to understanding each other better. It's time to dive into the world of political polarization and understand its impacts. So, what exactly is political polarization? A question that many of us might be pondering. Well, let's delve into it. Political polarization, in its simplest form, is the division of political attitudes into two distinct categories or extremes. Imagine a room with two corners. On one side, you've got folks with one set of beliefs, and on the other side, another group with contrasting views. The distance between these two corners represents the degree of polarization. The farther apart these corners are, the greater the polarization. Now, a little bit of disagreement is a good thing. It's healthy for democracy. It fosters debate, encourages diversity of thought, and ensures that all voices are heard. But when this disagreement becomes too extreme, it can lead to misunderstanding, conflict, and even hostility. In this state of heightened polarization, it's not just about having different opinions. It's about viewing those with opposing views as the other, as enemies to be defeated rather than fellow citizens to engage with. It's about believing that one's own side holds the absolute truth, and the other side is not just wrong, but dangerously so. This mindset can be detrimental to the functioning of a society. It can hinder cooperation, breed resentment, and stifle progress. It can lead to a situation where the focus shifts from finding common ground and working towards shared goals to defeating the other side at all costs. And it's not just the political landscape that's affected. This division seeps into our everyday lives, affecting how we interact with each other, how we perceive the world around us, and how we make decisions. In essence, political polarization is not just a matter of differing political views. It's a chasm that can divide societies, hamper progress, and breed animosity. So, while it's crucial to have diverse views and healthy debate in a democracy, it's equally essential to ensure that these differences don't turn into insurmountable divides. Because at the end of the day, political polarization is more than just a disagreement. It can impact societies at large. Political polarization isn't just about fiery debates. It has real-world consequences. When society becomes deeply divided along political lines, it doesn't just stay in the halls of government or on the debate stage. It seeps into our neighborhoods, our schools, our workplaces. It affects the way we interact with each other, often leading to a lack of understanding, empathy, and compassion. We stop seeing each other as fellow human beings and start seeing each other as political adversaries. This can lead to an increase in social tensions and conflicts, creating a divided and hostile society. But the impact of political polarization isn't confined to our social interactions. It also shapes our legislative landscape. When our political leaders are too polarized, they often struggle to find common ground, leading to legislative gridlock. Important issues that need urgent attention, like climate change, healthcare, and economic reforms, get sidelined because of partisan bickering. This gridlock can cause significant delays in policymaking, hampering the progress of the nation and leaving many important societal issues unaddressed. In extreme cases, political polarization can even lead to violence. When political disagreements escalate into hostility, it can result in violent confrontations, riots, and even civil unrest. We've seen this play out in various parts of the world where political polarization has ignited conflicts and even wars. This extreme consequence of political polarization not only threatens the peace and stability of societies, but also the lives and well-being of individuals. In essence, political polarization isn't a benign phenomenon. It's a potent force that can divide societies, paralyze governments, and incite violence. It's not just about having different political views. It's about how those differences are managed, how they're expressed, and how they affect our social fabric. The effects of political polarization reach far and wide, affecting our daily lives and the world we live in. It seems daunting, but bridging this political divide is not impossible. Yes, it's a tall order, but it's not a lost cause. How do we begin? By focusing on solutions and understanding that the first step is believing that a solution exists. Let's start with open dialogue. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But it's amazing how much we can achieve when we talk to each other, not at each other. Open dialogue is not about winning an argument or proving a point. It's about listening, understanding, and learning. It's about finding common ground amidst our differences. And yes, it's also about accepting that our political opponents are not our enemies. They're just people with different perspectives. Next, understanding. We're not just talking about understanding the other side's point of view. It's about understanding why they hold that point of view. What are their concerns? What are their fears? What are their values? We need to understand these before we can begin to bridge the divide. And to do this, we need to foster empathy. Empathy is not about agreeing with the other side, but about understanding their point of view. Let's not forget compromise. Compromise has somehow become a dirty word in politics. But it shouldn't be. Compromise is not about giving up what you believe in. It's about finding a middle ground, a solution that works for everyone. It's about accepting that you can't always get what you want, but that doesn't mean you can't get what you need. And what we need now, more than ever, is unity. Now, you might be thinking, that's all well and good, but how do we actually achieve this? Well, it starts with us. It starts with the conversations we have, the way we engage with others, the way we choose to understand and respect different perspectives. We can start by promoting a culture of open dialogue, understanding, and compromise in our own circles. We can start by being the change we want to see. It's also important to remember that bridging the divide is not an overnight process. It's a journey, and like any journey, it will have its ups and downs. There will be setbacks, there will be disagreements, there will be moments of frustration. But that's okay. That's part of the process. And as long as we keep moving forward, as long as we keep trying, we're making progress. Let's be clear though, this is not about negating our differences. Our differences are what make us unique, what make our society diverse and vibrant. We're not trying to eliminate our differences, we're trying to understand them. We're trying to find a way to coexist, to work together, to build a better future for all of us. Bridging the political divide requires effort, understanding, and a willingness to find common ground. But it's a journey worth embarking on, because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. So let's start bridging that divide. So what have we learned about political polarization and how to bridge the divide? We've unpacked the concept of political polarization, a term that describes the intensification of ideological differences within a political system. This phenomenon isn't just about differing opinions. It's about a deepening chasm, a widening gap between two sides that struggle to find common ground. We've explored how this polarization has been shaped and fueled by various factors, from the influence of media echo chambers that reinforce and amplify our views, to the role of social identity in shaping our political affiliations. We've seen how these elements can contribute to a political landscape that's increasingly divided and contentious. We've also delved into the impact of this polarization. It's not just about heated debates or fiery social media exchanges. The effects are far-reaching, impacting our policy-making processes, our societal cohesion, and even our personal relationships. It can hinder compromise, breed intolerance, and impede progress on critical issues. But amidst this challenging landscape, we've also discovered hope. We've examined ways to bridge the divide, to build bridges over this gaping chasm. It's not a simple task, nor is it a quick fix. It involves fostering understanding, promoting dialogue, and encouraging empathy. It's about challenging our biases, stepping outside our comfort zones, and engaging with those who hold different views. We've seen how initiatives that encourage cross-party conversations and collaborations can help to break down barriers and foster understanding. We've looked at the role of education in promoting critical thinking and media literacy, equipping individuals to navigate the complex terrain of political discourse. And we've underscored the importance of empathy, of recognizing the humanity in those with opposing views, as a critical step towards bridging the divide. In closing, political polarization is a complex issue. It's a multifaceted challenge that demands a multi-pronged approach. But it's not insurmountable. With understanding, with dialogue, with empathy, we can bridge the divide. Indeed, it's a journey that requires patience, resilience, and commitment. It demands that we listen, that we learn, that we engage. It's about finding common ground amidst our differences, about building bridges, not walls. It's a journey that we must embark on together, for the sake of our communities, our societies, and our future. Political polarization might be a complex issue, but with understanding and dialogue, we can bridge the divide.